Well, hello, boys and girls. How are you? I hope that you've been having a good day. Remember, as much as possible, always keep your masks on and use social distancing. We want to make sure that we are protecting ourselves and that we are protecting others. But since there is no one else in the classroom with me, I can take my mask off and I can show my, I was going to say my beautiful face. I can show my face. Um, of course, we are here to do another science lesson. And today we are going to be talking about something that we see almost every day. It's there, we experience it, but it is so common to us that we don't even pay any attention. And so today, I don't want to tell you the learning target because if I do, I'm going to give it away. I want you to start thinking about it by looking at some photos, okay? The name of the document is Images, okay? You see it right there, Images. So please open it up. Let me show you what it looks like. It has, I think, 3 or 4 images, okay? You see them there? Yeah, it has 4 images, all right? So once you open the document, look at those images closely, examine them carefully, and think about what do those images have in common. What is happening in all 4 of those images, okay? So pause the lesson and look at those images closely, and then think about what do they have in common. So what do you think? What do the images have in common? Did you figure it out? I'm sure you did. I wish that I could hear your explanations, hear your reasoning, but of course I'm not there. So what did they have in common? All 4 of them. Let's take a quick look at them one more time. We have that one, that one, that one, and the last one. What do they have in common? That's right. They all have shadows. And that is exactly what we are going to be exploring today. Shadows. So let's look at our learning target to specifically know what it is that we are supposed to be learning today. What target are we supposed to hit for science today? So our learning target is I can explain what a shadow is and what causes shadows on our planet. Okay? So pretty simple. What is a shadow and what causes a shadow? So probably many of you know what a shadow is, but have you tried to explain it? Like if a person that is a little child maybe asks you, hey, what is a shadow? Will you be able to explain it to them? And very important for today's target, do you know what causes a shadow? What causes an object to have a shadow? Do you know? Well, maybe you do, and if you do, this will be just a review. And if you don't, we will learn what causes a shadow. So I would like you to write a paragraph. I want you to write what you know about shadows, explaining what a shadow is and what causes objects to have a shadow. So I don't want you to look in a book. I don't want you to look in the internet. I want you to write down what you know about shadows, okay? So these are just information that you already have stored in your brain. What is a shadow and what causes objects to have a shadow? Have you thought about that? So write a paragraph. Pause this lesson now and spend a few minutes writing a paragraph about what a shadow is and what causes objects to have a shadow. So we are not going to discuss what you wrote. We just want to leave it there. So forget about what you wrote right now. Leave it there and let's keep exploring So at the end, we can check to see what you wrote and what you have learned, and see if you can add anything to your definition, to your paragraph, or maybe you knew everything already about shadows and you don't have to write anything else, okay? But let's leave that one alone, and now let's keep exploring shadows. So now what I like you to do is, if you are at home, okay? If you are at home and you are allowed to go out for just a moment, I don't know if your teacher is going to let you, okay? But if you are allowed to go out for just a moment and it is sunny outside, I want you to go outside for just a moment, okay? For just a moment. And I want you to see if you have a shadow, okay? And I want you to also check the size of your shadow. Does it look bigger than you or smaller than you? So if you can do that, go ahead and do that. Also, if you're not allowed, or another thing that you could do to check it out, if you're not allowed to go outside, you could actually take maybe a marker or a pencil and put it in front of a light and see if it has a shadow, okay? So I'd like you to just try that. And it's gonna take you just a couple of minutes to do that, okay? Whether you go outside or whether you do it with a marker or pencil or anything that can cast a shadow. So do you go outside? Were you able to? Did your teacher allow you to go outside, or your parents? Well, anyways, I just wanted you to look at your shadow. I know that you've seen it many times, but since we're talking about that, I wanted it to be just fresh in your mind, okay? What your shadow looks like. Or if you didn't go outside, maybe you did it with a marker or a pencil or another object, okay? So do you do that? Something else that I want you to think about is, notice that I said if it is sunny outside. Why is it that on a cloudy day, when the sun is behind the clouds, or when the clouds are covering the sun, why is it that we don't see shadows? Do you think about that? So only when the light is shining bright, we have shadows. Why? So I guess we need light to have shadows. Do you think about that? Now, what I want you to do next is open a document that is called How Shadows Are Formed, okay? How shadows are formed. You see it there? And let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this, okay? How shadows are formed. It has a photo there of like a forest with snow. You see it? Okay, so open it up. And we are not going to read it together, okay? So pause this lesson and then read the article on your own, okay? Read the article on your own. It's extremely important that you learn to read articles at your grade level, okay? So take your time and read the article. So what do you think? Do you learn anything about shadows? So we know for sure that we need a light source, right? Whether it is the sun or a light bulb or a candle, but we need a light source for us to be able to see a shadow. So we need light in order to have shadows. We know that. What else did you learn? Anything else that you learned? I don't know what you're saying, but I hope that you are answering other things that you learned, right? And we had different types of shadows, but we need light and we need objects to have shadows. So it's not just having light. We need light and we need an object. And then with light and an object, the object has a shadow. How does it happen? Well, the article gave us a lot of clues. Now we're going to watch a video, and I think this one is going to do it for us if we already haven't figured it out, okay? Let me show you the link for that video. Shadows video, okay? Shadows video. Let me show you what it looks like. I know it looks a little bit like it's done for babies, but it has very good information. So it's not for babies. It's for 4th graders, okay? So watch that video, and then we'll come back together. So pause my lesson and watch that video to get more information about shadows. So we already had the word light and object, but now we added a verb here, and that was that BL. What was that verb that was mentioned a lot on the video? That's right, block. And not a cement block to build stuff, but block as in stopping something, stopping the light, blocking the light from flowing through. So the light is flowing from the light source. There is an object on the way that blocks that light. And so whatever shape the object has, then the shadow is going to have it here. So the shadow is actually that object that is not letting the light go through. And that's what makes a shadow, right? So what I'd like you to do now is I want you to go back to your paragraph, okay? The one that you wrote from information that you had in your brain. And from the things that you learn now, I want you to go back to that paragraph and I want you to edit it. I want you to add or take away things, okay? I want you to now have a really good definition of what shadow is and what causes shadows on our planet. So go back to that paragraph and fix it to make sure that it reflects all the new learning that you have done today, okay? Do that, pause the lesson, do that, and then we'll come back to finish. So did you have to fix many things? Or do you already knew a lot about shadows and what causes them? Well, I hope that you had to fix many things. That means that you learned a lot during this lesson, okay? So did we get the learning target? What is a shadow? And what causes a shadow on our planet? We surely did. And tomorrow, or whenever you get the next lesson, we are going to be discussing why is it that shadows change direction and also change size. So stay tuned. We will talk about that next time. Have a great day. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.